converting? What are we doing in the process of cellular respiration? Good morning, Leah. Maybe we should start from the beginning. So we've been talking about cellular respiration, which is converting glucose into ATP. Give me an ATP in chat if you are here this morning. You are awake. If you are with me, there you are. There you are. Good. So we are here. Our very first day, we looked at the equation form of this entire process, right? This is basically what you put in and what we get out. And we talked about how cool it is because for animals like ourselves, we breathe in oxygen, right? Everybody deep breath in, deep breath out, yoga. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, if you need to take a minute, that's fine. We'll have the recording for you, Wyatt. I'm sorry it's such a tough day for you. I'm sorry. He has to put a pet down today, Kinsley. Yeah, so we take in glucose and we breathe in oxygen, and and we put out carbon dioxide. It's the very opposite of what we're going to talk about in photosynthesis. All right, in photosynthesis, they give off oxygen and they need that carbon dioxide. So it's kind of like a perfect match. Okay. So let's show off to Ms. Schmidt what we know about glycolysis. Oh, we have it all filled in. So let me get rid of these. Well, don't look. Don't look. All right, we did this yesterday where we filled this in. But we talked about that glycolysis is the breakdown. You never saw it. Thank you. Of glucose. And then glycolysis, the very first step of cellular respiration. Our cells break glucose into two pieces of what? What are those two pieces called again that we get as the products of glycolysis? What goes right here? Yes, pyruvic acid. We talked about what a silly word that is. All right, so if somebody will put pyruvic up there. So we talked about how glycolysis is a breakdown of glucose into pyruvic acid, and that we'd only produce 2 ATP in the whole process of glycolysis, but the most important part are these pieces of pyruvic acid that go into our next step. Where does this first step of glycolysis happen? Where does this happen in the cell? Yes. Perfect. It happens in the cytoplasm. Somebody want to stick that up there too?
All I can say is I am just adoring all the love they're sending to Wyatt. That's awesome. I love that you guys take such good care of each other.
They do. We have such a compassionate class. I love that they take care of each other. They're so sweet. All right, let me check the chat here. Absolutely, Emma. So if any of you are wondering about, because we're getting there in a minute, how to turn in the comics from yesterday, I would love to share some of those today. So if you will email those to me right now, that would be awesome. Okay? You can email those to me. I didn't do a Dropbox because it's an optional assignment. I mean, I want you to do it, but it's not for a grade. All right? Good. Is there anyone that would walk us through the Krebs cycle? We did the Krebs cycle yesterday, which is the second step of cellular respiration. Would anyone just you don't have to go through every step, but give us a summary of what happens when these two pieces of pyruvate from the cytoplasm come into the mitochondria. What happens to that piece of pyruvate? Would anyone want to turn on your microphone and just briefly describe it? I know that's asking a lot, but
I guess I could try. So, what do you want to say? Krebs cycle. So we start off with two pieces of the pyruvate. Then we go into the ATP. ATP breaks down the CO2 to the CoA. It's two pieces of carbon, and then it goes to the NAD and adds the H, and this NADH goes into the 2 NADH and goes to 3 NADH and then 4 NADH. But then we get the FADH, and the carbon goes down pretty much one every time until it hits 4. All right.
yes, awesome. Thank you. That was so good. I'm so proud of you. Right, so we have two pieces of pyruvate. Each enters the cycle, and it's just like Aiden said. So what happens is that molecule gets broken. Those bonds of carbon break off one at a time, and every time that a bond is broken, what is released, guys? Anytime we break bonds, energy is released. Good, and we take that energy and attach hydrogen molecules to the NAD, just like Caden said, and make NADH molecules. We're making NADH molecules as we go around the cycle. We make one FADH and one ATP. All right, so we talked about yesterday that at the end, we come up with these totals, 1 time through and 2 times through. All right. Again, we don't make a lot of ATP in the Krebs cycle, but the important part are these little fruits. All right. The fruits of our labor. All right. They are important because we are going into the electron transport chain, and that's where the magic happens. All right. Let's go to that. Is there anyone that would want to walk us through the electron transport chain? What happens when we get that NADH and that FADH through the electron transport chain? Anybody?
Go again. I guess I can go again. All right.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
Electron transport chain, and now that I remember that H is hydrogen. The FADH, we don't see that much. The NADH rolls and rolls and rolls until eventually the hydrogen breaks off. And then it will break that hydrogen bond and will release ATP up. Or not up, but it'll release ATP. And then it'll repeat and repeat. And we'll go in the ATP synthase, the more hydrogen that goes in. Imagine it like a shredder. The more it goes in, the more it produces out.
Ooh, I love the analogy. Kaden, you might be a natural teacher. Seriously, that was so good. Right, so the ATP synthase, if we get even more technical today, it is a form of active transport. So it's moving those against the gradient, okay, from high or from low to high. And so when it does that, it requires energy and it pumps that through there and actually creates it in the process. Super duper impressed. Great job. So we review all of that to get to the place where we looked at our ATP totals. All right, we only had 2 ATP in glycolysis 2 in Krebs cycle, and 34 ATP in the electron transport chain. I do kind of care that you know those values, but I most importantly care that you know a little bit, a lot, right? And know what happens to get us there. We kind of compared it yesterday, like you drive a junker car that you can pay for so that you can save up for the car that you really want someday, right? So we keep making this FADH and we keep making this NADH, and we're like, why are we making this? This isn't what we really want, right? But it pays off, because when we get to the electron transport chain, what we really need is that NADH and that FADH to be broken apart to make what massive amounts of ATP. So good. No, you did a great job, Kaden. I don't feel like you missed anything. You did a fantastic job. You're funny, Brant. That's hilarious. All right, so then we ended yesterday on this slide, and we were basically saying, okay, so we've talked for 2 days about cellular respiration. I wanted you to just take some time and process it. If you're like me, sometimes after I get done with massive information intake, I need some time to process it. So I wanted you to process it by making a comic strip. Now, I personally just took the formula input output right here, okay, to basically say like, oh, okay, so we have glucose. We start on the island. So I kind of compared the island of our kitchen to the cytoplasm, all right? And that's where you kind of gather your ingredients. Then I took it over into over where the sink is to add some O2, all right, in the cooktop. Maybe put it in the oven, and then what do I get as a product that I pull back out and like to serve at my table? I like to, it's carbon dioxide. It is, what is that, my CO2? Oh, my water, my carbon dioxide, my water, and my ATP. All right. Just like I mix my brownies on the island in my kitchen, then I'll stick them in the oven and let them cook. And then we're going to pull them back out, and cut them into pieces and serve them. So is there anybody that would be willing to share the comic that you made yesterday to represent cellular respiration? I really would love to use this time in class today to further our understanding of this concept by looking at what you've made. Several of you, I think 3 of you, emailed it to me. You could also, I'm trying to think, Mrs. Schmidt, with the best way, I miss my copy paste on Blackboard. Would the best way be for me to screen share, for them to screen share?
They could probably screen share.
I would, if you have it on your screen, I can give you permission to screen share. That might be the easiest way.
I do miss copy and paste.
I use that all the time. I would always find images of things and think of it last minute and be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Emma, would you want to just screen share? Let me pull up. Ooh, Google Slides. So you would copy paste it to Google Slides. And she would just share her screen. Is that how she does it? Your digital arts teacher, Micah? Ah. I might have to try that next time. Have our share and tell board on Google Slides. I will absolutely do the talking, Emma. Let me make sure you have the settings. Oh, nope, I didn't give you that. Okay. You should have the ability to share your screen now. I also have comics from Brianna and Madison and Josh. If any of them are okay with me sharing. Did I say Emma twice? I meant Brianna, Joshua, and Madison. I don't know if I said to Emma instead. You don't have to have the equation in yours. I liked yours, Brianna. I thought it was really cute. Are you able to share? I'm not rushing you. I think if you click start screen share, and I don't mind walking us through it. I'm gonna pull, maybe I will pull up a Google link too in case. That might be the easiest way. Ah, there it is. So cute. Oh my goodness. I'm going to zoom in on my screen just a little bit so I can see the words. This is adorable. Awesome. So, for some reason, I'm having a really hard time reading the text. You mind putting the text in if you don't want to read it? It looks so cute. That is so cute. Ooh. Oh, you have to come down, don't you? Let me pull up a board. Let me pull up a Google board. Google Slides. Then we can click, like you said, we can copy paste to them. Okay. Change to anyone with the link. Copy my link. All right. So I'm going to do this and then we can copy and paste them onto here. Then maybe we'll have better clarity. All right. Oh, picking flowers. I love that. Okay, I'm going to put the link here in chat so that you should be able to add yours. And I'm going to share my screen. And you guys can now add your comics to my screen, and let's see if that is not clearer. Can you see? I see people joining. Awesome.
I'm making mine. I'm making a good one, so just give me a second.
Yes. Emma, can you copy paste yours onto the board? Maybe take a snip of it. It might be the best way to stick it up there. I love this so much, guys. I'm so excited. Jenna, I think you would be awesome at these. Everyone tell Jaina how awesome she would be at these. Jaina is so creative. Pick one scene and simplify it. I can see you being overwhelmed with the options, Jaina. but you would be so good. I'm going to stop screen sharing just for 1 second. I'm going to grab one of these from my email while the rest of you grab yours. Okay. Copy. Okay, here, let's share again. Okay. Can you see my screen? Why isn't it letting me paste? Is it letting any of you paste? Why? Mm. Oh, here we go. It should no longer be view only. Why is it my email? Why is it not liking me? It's not letting me do it either, which is super frustrating. I just want my copy paste options from Blackboard back. All right, here comes one. I think this might work this time. Okay. Are you seeing my screen? Can you see the thing? Yay! All right, so here's our first one. This is Brianna's. It's so cute. All right, she isn't sure what she wants for lunch. She picks the glucose and carbon dioxide. She comes over here to the plants. She's tending to the science class plants. How cute is that? And the plants, she's showing how the plants put off the oxygen. Good. And how she's putting off carbon dioxide. Good. And then over here, how one of the outputs is water. How cute is that? So she's highlighting that. I love it. So good. Can anybody else copy paste? Is it not letting you? It does work. Okay, good. So I'm going to keep this one in here. What do we do? Let's just add another slide. And then we'll have them all. So next slide. Who wants to throw another one up there? I think Emma just sent me one. Who's going to send me another comic? You forgot to do mine. That's okay. Go do one right now if you haven't made one yet. I'll put it back in the chat. It's on the board. Well, I guess it was on the board. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. I'm going to pop back into my email because somebody sent me another one. I think Miss Emma's. Emma sent me the link. That could work too. This is adorable, Emma. They're going to love it. All right, let's put this one up. Go to the second slide. I know, I love all your names. Okay, here we go. Here's our next one. Glycolysis and a mother with her 2 children. Ooh, I like that. Good, and so then we come into the Krebs cycle. She said Krebs cycle, royal families marrying off 2 different children. Good, so like you go through the cycle 2 times. And then she brings us down over here in the electron transport chain is the family tree is blooming. Oh, and so she's going to pick the flowers from the tree. There's 34 flowers to represent the 34 ATP that are produced. I love it. Super creative. Thank you so much for sharing.
I'm done. How do I do this?
Okay, so what I did, Kaden, is I went to snip, like in my bottom search bar, and hit snip, and it let me like take a picture of what I wanted to share, and then I pasted it on the board. I had to use Control V to paste on the Google slide. So these guys are what's going to take your understanding from some of those basic fill in the blanks like I had talked to you about, like we had been through. And this is going to help you master what we are going over, because it's going to help you synthesize this information and relate it to different situations. I'm sorry, Kaden, did I cut you off?
I was trying to hit copy and paste, and it kept saying view only.
Do you want to screen share?
I think it'd be, well, someone else has been able to do it on this slide, so I should be able.
Yeah, here.
It does say view only, so I can't do anything.
It says view only?
On the, in share and tell.
Here, let's try again. Copy, like anyone with the link can edit. So let's copy link, make sure we have the right link for you. I love how much you guys are complimenting one another in chat. Keep going with that. I love that. It takes a lot to go and put your stuff on the board, and there you go. Right? Putting yourself out there and making yourself vulnerable. I love it. Awesome. Kaden, will you explain it for us?
I probably should have made the text bigger.
No, it's okay.
If you can zoom in, so make it more funny for them.
Here, let's see. Does this work?
So we have glucose. That'd be probably me. In the gaming chair. There's little creatures hidden around if you can find them. They're all meant to represent the area. I hope the oven. What is it? I hope the oven is still going. Meanwhile, in the oven, which is obviously filled with demon cats. Are you done cooking yet? Also, where's the kids? My wife will kill me. I'm working on it, Mike. How am I supposed to know? Meanwhile, at the waterfalls, ATP. It ain't that deep. Water. This will be great for my social media followers. CO2. Why am I related to you people? And Cthulhu's in the background, so it's just like, why am I related to you people?
I love it. So creative. And the demon cats make it even better. Hilarious. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone tell Caden how awesome his thing is, and I will try to exit full screen because I don't know how to. Escape. Okay. There we go. Awesome. Am I still screen sharing? Can you see? Okay. Anybody else want to share? Is there somebody else that would be willing to share? I have a couple in my inbox, but I'm not going to share those without your permission.
They're so creative. I love them, guys.
I'm going to stop sharing for a minute so I can catch up on chat because I can't. I'm not good at seeing both. Okay. So let me check out chat here. They are doing so well. Let me check our time. The other thing is we have 5 minutes. Is there anyone that would be willing to share their cell project? I have been grading those and they are so good. Your cell projects are awesome. Yes, the playlist one. Yeah, and they aren't due yet. They aren't due till next Friday. Is that right? Or is it this Friday? Brianna will share hers. They are so good. The relationships you're making between music and JB, is JB here? He did yes, Alex, you got your, I didn't, okay, so Alex, your attachment didn't work. I didn't got to tell you that yet. Alex and JB have a alternate assignment they did, and it's going to be fantastic as well. JB's was hilarious. It fit him perfectly. So try to attach it again or send me a link, Alex. I felt so bad because I didn't get it. All right, would you like to screen share, Leah? Leah or Brianna, you're welcome to screen share your project. They are so good. You could save it maybe as I can use the mic. I can do that. The outline, I can send it to you via email, Kaden. The PowerPoint. It should also be in your plan from maybe Monday and Friday. It's also in the announcements in the classroom. It is in Nearpod, but some people were having a hard time. They were losing it in Nearpod, so I just changed it to a PowerPoint template. So that nobody lost anything, because I don't want you losing. Yep, you are welcome to use the mic, Brianna. You should have all those permissions.
Okay, so I titled mine Cells in the Afternoon just to give it a unique name. For the nucleus, I did DNA by Walk the Moon. It's really new, actually. And I said it's the nucleus that is that holds the DNA of the cell. So the DNA would be called the keys because it is what makes everything after the cell dies. I said this is to say that the DNA is the key in making the organism a certain way. DNA is the title of the song, and the nucleus is mostly known for holding the DNA. Next is the mitochondria, and for the mitochondria, I said Run the World by Beyonce. The mitochondria literally runs the cell. It's the powerhouse. So in Beyonce's song, it talks about girls running the world, but in the cell, it's the mitochondria. The mitochondria is important to the cell because of its function, powering it. And Beyonce says that girls are important on the earth too because they provide something in the world. For the ER, I said A Whole New World by Aladdin, because in Aladdin, they take the magic carpet ride, and the magic carpet ride is kind of like a transport, right? It transport Aladdin and Jasmine all over the country. So he said in the song, it talks about magic carpet rides. Essentially, the ER is a giant magic carpet that takes proteins to different locations in the cell. The ER is a transporter, just like the magic carpet and A Whole New World.
I love it. I geeked out on that one.
For the Golgi body, I said, wait a minute, Mr. Postman, because the Golgi body is kind of like a postal service. They take in all of the proteins and they ship all the proteins out. So the Golgi body receives proteins from the ER and sends them to other places. This reminds me of a post office or UPS. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman talks about a postman. Postmen and postwomen receive mail that they have to distribute out. For the chloroplast, I wanted to incorporate something with the sun because chloroplast and sun are really close together. So I picked A Pocket Full of Sunshine by Natasha Bedingfield. The chloroplast is important in plant cells because it takes some light from the sun and turns it into sugar, and that's very important for the plant cell. And Bedingfield's song, it references the sun many, many times, making it the perfect song to represent the chloroplast, since many people think of the sun when describing the chloroplast. For lysosome, I chose Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe. And when I think of enzymes, I think of they're not all bad, but I think of poison, as I said. Lysosomes house enzymes, and enzymes are very similar to poison. Enzymes help break down substances just like poison, and enzymes can even damage a cell, poisoning it. And last, it's the ribosome, which is, we built this city because ribosomes are proteins, and they help build many things. You can say they build the cell. We built the city is about metaphorically building a city. Ribosomes do the same, not with rock and roll, of course.
I love it so much. Everybody give her so much love. Wasn't that so good? I can't even pick a favorite, but I built this city too. That is seriously perfect. Seriously perfect, because ribosomes really do build everything in the cell. Yes, Leah, you're welcome to go next. I know we're a little bit over, or we can do it first thing Monday morning. But if you want to go, I say let's go for it. I'm just digging all your. This is like the happiest day of class because you guys are just thriving, and I'm so excited. I knew those songs, but Alex, you got a different project because you don't know that much music. So that makes sense. All right. Leah, do you want me to walk through it, or are you, because I think you said you were able to get on your mic? I absolutely can read them for you. Okay, and I'll be quick. So this is Leah's cell organelle project, her playlist. We're going to go through some of her examples. So she compared to the nucleus to Love on the Brain by Rihanna, and she talks about how it relates to the nucleus because the song talks about love in your brain, and the nucleus is the brain of the cell. Perfect. I love it. The second song she picked for the mitochondria is Powered by Little Mix. How cool is that? Works like a perfect association because the song Power, all right, relates to the mitochondria because it is legitimately the powerhouse of the cell. Perfect song. She compared I love this one too. The endoplasmic reticulum to Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts, right? And I love that too, because it is the song Life is a Highway. It's going to take the ER. It is important for transporting things, just like we use our roads and our highways as modes of transportation. Perfect. I did not even come up with some of these clever ideas like you did. Take Me Away by Lifehouse, another perfect song choice. The song Take Me Away relates to the Golgi body because the Golgi body takes the simple molecules and combines them to make more complex molecules. It takes them away. It packages them together, right? Good. She did Everlasting Light. All right, for the chloroplast. I also she put some links in here for us that you can listen to. The song Everlasting Light relates to the chloroplast because it takes the light energy and it converts it to chemical energy. So we use that light like it was talking about in the song. Our Lysosomes Breakdown by Michael W. Smith, such a good artist. Right, the song Breakdown relates to the lysosome because that's what the lysosome does. Right, the lysosome takes all the excess stuff in the cell and breaks them down, and even like the worn out parts. That's perfect. I think this is the last one, would be the ribosome Decode by Paramore. The song Decode relates to the ribosome because ribosomes decode messages, perfect, that they're getting from the nucleus, and they form bonds, all right? They make those proteins that the nucleus is giving them in codes to make. Great. I agree, Brianna. Great song choice. I could not be any more proud of you all. And I've got more projects in my inbox that I would love to share. And I just got an email, I think, from Josh saying I could share his. I will save that for another day. Maybe once a day or a couple times a week, we can go through and share some of these because they're just so good. I hate to not share them. Yes, everyone give Leah some love. Thank you so much, guys, for putting yourself out there. Alex, let's get yours shared on the docket next week, okay? I want to share JB's too. It's hilarious. All right. Have a wonderful day. I'll be around tomorrow. Miss Schmidt will be around on Friday. We're here to help. Yes, thanks to everyone who shared. I'm here for questions, Kaden. I'll send you the template to make sure you have the PowerPoint template. Thanks for making my day, guys. Have a great day.
Those were both really fun assignments.
I am just so impressed by their work this year. They've all been doing so fantastic.
That's great.
And our project is not even due yet, but I want to say like 15 of them in, and they're all really good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to think. On Friday, I just did review on.
Sure.
What did I do? I don't even remember. It's been so long ago.
Was it membranes?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought I saw that on the announcement, which is great.
So we did eukaryote, and they were struggling. I couldn't get anyone. I was like, Bueller?
Oh.
Anyone? And then finally, a couple of them were like, I don't know any of this. How do I study for this? So that's why I put